My name is Joyce Ann Wainaina. I'm the CEO of Citibank in East Africa, and I have just concluded a very exciting CEO chat, KBA sponsored, on the oil and gas industry in Kenya. East Africa has had one of the most prolific finds of oil and gas in the last decade anywhere in the world. Kenya has about 600 million barrels of oil that are proven in reserve in the Turkana area. Uganda has over 3 billion barrels of oil find. Tanzania has about 43 trillion cubic feet of gas finds. And Mozambique is said to have the largest gas finds in the world. What does this mean for us in this region? If we think about the gas, for instance, gas is now being piped into urban centers for the use of power. And use Tanzania as an example. Gas has been piped from the southern region up to Dar es Salaam, from Twara to Dar, and that could have a dramatic impact on the nature of reserves used for the power industry. The financial sector, the banking industry specifically, has been very engaged in the downstream and midstream play in oil and gas. Downstream being, the oil marketing companies that import oil, trade it in the market and get it to the final consumer. That has been where the banking industry has supported and played for many, many years. As the oil production, exploration and production starts to develop and continues to develop in Kenya, the banking industry needs to change its engagement to a certain extent. Starting at the top on exploration, exploration is usually considered to be a fairly high-risk area for banks, and therefore the support required there is in equity raising. Remember that exploration has historically about a 5% success rate. It is quite unusual for banks to use customer deposits to allocate to excessively high-risk assets. However, once exploration is successful, we move into production, and there are various tools that banks use to enable financing in the production space. And this is done globally. There are tools like reserve-based financing or reserve-based lending, RBLs, that are used to finance the production or near to production of the sector based on the reserves that have been identified in the ground. Of course, the midstream sector that is budding and is doing very, very well right now is being supported by the banking industry. We are looking at people who are providing ancillary services, drilling services, different forms of services like transportation, logistics. That is being well supported by the banking industry in Kenya. My final thoughts on the oil and gas industry for Kenya is that Kenya is at a sweet spot, in my view. We are still an oil importing country, and with the oil prices trending down, we are gaining a lot of advantage from this development. With the prices shifting from $80 per barrel to what they are today, like $50 or less, this amount of oil import bill has gone down dramatically by almost $1.5 billion. We hope that those saves can be used wisely in order to develop the infrastructure that is going to be absolutely necessary to support the production of oil in this country.